Hey, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're gonna make some real progress on the Fall Guy jump truck. We're gonna get some sheet metal on this thing, and we're also gonna see it move under its own power and figure out a few other little details on our process to making this truck fly. So stick around to the end. Hey guys, so I'm here with Josh Cater. If it weren't for him, we would not be where we are in this project. So I just want a big shout out to him. And we also have some sheet metal back here. It's happening right here. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know this is Josh.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see it launch. I've always wanted to see it, so it's excited to see something that's gonna have parts that I can donate to Fly Off the Edge. So
Josh has been great. Parts are going to good use. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce him. Big shout out to Josh Cater. He was able to not only donate the truck in the first place, but he was able to round up most of the front sheet metal for this thing so that we can start putting it back together and making it look like a proper truck. When he disassembled this, he did a really nice job of bagging everything up, and you know, it's the proper way to do any sort of a tear down. The radiator core, bolts, etc. He did a great job. All right, well, let's just jump in and start putting this thing back together. Core support is nice and tight now. That's good to go. Gonna drop the radiator in here. I vacuumed out some crud and stuff, and I have the radiator right here. I'm gonna go ahead and slam this in. Gonna be really careful here not to bend up any of these fins, you know, and scrape it against anything. Oops. Gonna be able to put these brackets in, get this radiator attached. Easy peasy so far. So much easier with the fenders off. I mean, this is the way to work on it. Oh yeah, she's ready to rock. Let's get the hoses hooked up. Yeah, there we go. Close enough for government work. All right, radiator support, radiator's hooked up. Gotta get the trans cooler hooked up, and it's gonna make it secure enough. Oh yeah, there we go. Is our radiator and trans cooler setup. Gonna be all right. It's gonna work fine. How about that? I mean, 2 seconds, already looking like more of a truck. To get their bodies to fit, you gotta have a bunch of fender washers and or these shims so that you can get everything lined up. This fender got quite a gap between the windshield post and there. And what's really nice is I can actually see the old paint lines where the fender was before. That's gonna help me line this up really, really fast. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Well, I guess the good news about having the fenders on is I can sit up in here and work now. The bad news is, you know, I'm gonna have to climb up and down every time. Let's get the wheels on. Josh let me borrow the wheels a little bit longer until I can get some A, permanent wheels, B, some other temporary wheels to move it around. When I get the permanent wheels, the 37 inchers, and the lift, it's not gonna fit where I currently have it. So I have to kind of work with my space while we can work up here in the nice warm garage. All right, let's get some wheels on and let's get a hood on this thing. Well, you guys might really appreciate this. We were actually able to locate the other super winch locking hub for the front, which now makes this right here complete. Probably more importantly, between now and the launch, it's gonna keep moisture out of here, which would be a bad thing. But yeah, we're gonna be able to lock the hubs and send it proper. How cool is that? Yeah, let me just share with you for a brief moment the glorious weather we have going on right now outside. So thinking about July 4th, you know, kind of warms you up a little bit because it's cold, it's snowing, it's windy. It's a lot better to be in there in the garage. I see my lovely blonde assistant has just shown up. So we're gonna go in there and hang the hood. Trying to figure this out. I've had these trucks before, you know. Actually, years ago, my dad bought a bunch of them from a landscaping company, and we painted one of them fire engine red, which was awesome. Never took the hood off of it. Back when my dad worked for General Motors, he brought a lot of these things home. I actually remember going up I-95 one cold winter in a diesel version of this, about a 83 or 84, and my mom stopped at a gas station and put gasoline in it. And we made it just a very short distance after the fuel station, and it quit on a very cold winter night in Georgia. And so I spent a lot of time in a cab on one of these things. We're gonna try and get this hood on here, and then I'm gonna okay, I'm going to have you come over here. Just, no, right, come right here. Yeah. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Without any air power. Oops, got it. All right, check it out. I was missing there's a little star-shaped kind of gear in here. This came with the kit with the star gear. Also bought a new ignition lock and key so that we can shut her down and lock her up. Ignition lock, neutral safety switch, all of that is here set up. This is your actual ignition switch that when you rotate the key forward, you can hear that. That is the ignition lock. You see the lever moving right there? This is in good shape now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the truck. Okay. Okay, that one seemed to be happy going in there. Remember, these are the wires that the people on the TV shows come in just a couple of seconds and they hot wire. It's a little tricky than they'd like you to believe. The collar on the outside I gotta hook up, and then there's a dust boot thing that goes here, and all this stuff back up. Let's see if we got good, there's our lights are on the dash. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep, that's gonna work. I have to antifreeze this thing, like it or not, and by not, it's because you kind of hate to spend the money on the materials, but we will be draining this back out, putting straight water in it before it jumps. But right now, because it is awful cold outside, this thing is probably gonna sit outside. We need to make sure that it's gonna not freeze up. I am going to try to start this thing up and get it out of here. Let it warm up, see if we can clean the crap out of the bed, get it back in here. So with that being said, I'm gonna have my wife hit the garage door. Oil pressure is great. We're charging. Don't know what's going to happen here yet, but this is important. That's somewhat important. And then, of course, we don't want to overheat. The choke came on. It idled down a bit. We're definitely leaking some transmission fluid out right there. Radiator looks like it's holding. We got some serious exhaust manifold leak over here. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, baby, listen to it run. This is awesome. Loving this. Oh yeah, this is awesome. And we can get this garbage cleaned out of here. Blew a little junk out the pipe, but you know, I've started it a few times in the garage. Yeah, that is all good. All right, I need you guys watching out for me. Let me know if you see the front wheels spinning. Let's see if we got four-wheel drive. I think they're spinning. I think we have four-wheel drive, guys. Seems to be running pretty good. Cannot complain with that at all. Yeah, there we go. It moved under its own power. Well, guys, I feel kind of stupid at the moment. Let me explain. So yesterday, got the truck out, got it running, moved back and forth with it, actually drove it out of the garage. It was great. Did a little ear tuning on the timing and the carburetor. It was all good, but then it stalled. I kept fooling around. Noticed I didn't have any fuel in the filter, added a little bit of fuel to the carburetor bowl, and it started right back up. And I came back and I checked my fuel tank and it was bone dry. And I had 1.5 gallons in here when I started out. I started questioning my memory, went back and I filled this up, dropped the line back in, popped my, the vent, close it for now, and let it run for a little bit, and then noticed I'm out of gas again. I came to the conclusion that I made the mistake of leaving the return line connected to the fuel pump. So basically, sitting here idling, I was bypassing my fuel straight from external tank into my tank. I'm gonna sit and dither on it for a while and come up with something. I actually need to get the truck moved out of here today, clear some space in here for some other work, figure something out. And I'm sure I'm gonna let you know in just a little bit.
20 minutes later.
Nothing, a little 1/4-inch return line down there, run alongside of my feed line and back into the tank, couldn't solve. So we're all set up here. Return line is very snugly inserted, feed line, my vent, keep it from vapor locking. It's all secured. That's gonna be all the fuel we need where we're going. Front main seal on this transmission is shot. And I noticed when I was cleaning out the bed yesterday, I found multiple bottles of transmission fluid back here. It's leaking pretty steady at the front seal. So that's probably what was going on there. This is so much better. I need to get this out and pressure wash it, but it's much too cold to do that right now. Let's just get this stuff dumped in the transmission. We're going to call this transmission resealed. Look at that. Clean up a little bit and move this outside. Got some other activities going on. Believe it or not, this isn't the only thing going on in my world right now, but now we should be able to just start it up and drive it outside. How cool is that? Thank you to everybody out there that's taken the time to subscribe and like. It really means a lot to me, and it's gonna help us get a lot further down the road to making this project a success.